Back with you on the Morning Brew on President's Day. We're live today downtown with Aaron Muffaletto.
And Stacy Sacco.
Yes.
And Larry Aaron.
Yeah, we're all here. What are we doing here? It's a holiday.
Well, it's Monday. I don't know. We're
right.
here to talk about ribbon cuttings and grand openings.
Very nice.
You know, I've been talking all about, since I started coming on board, about networking, but there's the obvious things you go to, the networking mixers
Sure.
at night. But boy, if you really want to think through who do you need to meet and how do you target somebody and how do you sort of take that next step, I call it playing chess as opposed to playing checkers. You need to really sort of think, what's the second and third level? Well, one of those is ribbon cuttings and grand openings. There was a woman I worked with when I was working at West. She needed to talk to small business owners. So she'd call them and there'd be the second and third call and the gatekeeper and all the rest of that. But when there was a grand opening or a ribbon cutting, she'd go right in and talk to the owner. They'd be right there.
And they're in a great
showcasing
mood.
They're in a great mood. You need to meet the mayor, especially when I was in Rio Rancho. He goes to everything. Swisstack goes to everything.
Yeah.
He's a pretty amazing guy.
Yeah.
And Barry does too.
He does too. You can see him a
they're
lot.
in the community, kissing babies. And
Yeah, and those are happy occasions. The business owners just filled with pride.
Yep.
The city officials are happy.
Yep.
The employees are happy.
Right.
Everybody's in a
I
good
know
mood.
Debbie Moore up in Rio Rancho, she's the president. She'd always proudly read this little plaque that they put on the wall, and
I love
everybody's
it.
really excited. Oh, yeah. So I just thought I'd talk about it because one of the things that makes them unique is they attract the city officials and local dignitaries. As I said, you can get to the business owner. A lot of the groups, especially, these are generally run by chambers of commerce, and they'll have some kind of a liaison group or ambassador group. I was very familiar with the Rio Rancho one because they had their red coats, they called them. We'd all wear red coats and kind of look like real estate.
Is that an ambassador there?
Yeah, there's an ambassador right there. These are different shots I brought of some different ribbon cuttings and grand openings.
And somebody's got to bring the giant pair of scissors.
Yes.
There is
that is the most important part.
The quintessential pair of scissors, yes. That one with the dog, that was local. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I didn't take that picture, but isn't that cute? No cats, though, like the other.
And the nice thing is, these things don't last long. You can work the room hour or two and you're out of there.
No, they don't last long. Yeah. So I've put a list of several of them on my website. There was one this past week. It was Hampton Inn and Suites. They had a grand reopening. That was hosted by the Albuquerque West or West Side Chamber.
Yeah.
Then the Rio Rancho Chamber's got one, the Neighborhood and Rio Rancho Life Care Communities, coming up next week. They actually have a ribbon cutting for a 7-Eleven. I don't know, what are you going to...
No kidding. What do you, throw out a Slim Jim or something to open the thing?
Well, they're going to be writing this.
Toast with a Slurpee
They're calling you later.
Hey, if I can get a free Slurpee, I'll go.
I'm going. Well, you probably could. And that's so...
I saw that on the list and I went, really?
Really? Yeah. Well, that's the magic of ribbon cuttings. You can go to anywhere.
So usually well, first of all, find
goodness.
these places and then say, okay, well, I'm interested. Hey, maybe I'm interested in opening a gas station. So I want to go to these kind of things.
Right.
And kind of learn more about them,
Exactly.
talk to those people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there's two sides to it. The one is you're a small business opening. Boy, oh boy, take advantage of this.
Yeah.
Go to your chamber and say, I want to do a ribbon cut. They'll orchestrate the whole thing.
They organize it all.
They organize it. They will bring the scissors. You don't need to bring your own scissors.
And they send an email blast to the whole chamber.
Exactly.
So everybody knows you're open.
Joe's Muffler Shop is opening, And
7 to 11. That seems funny. But then,
I noticed Albuquerque, the magazine's launch party, their monthly party. That's quite a thing.
That's quite a party. I put that in because it was sort of the other flip side of this is that a lot of organizations, like Bob Farrell with his business directory, every year he has a launch party. Albuquerque, the magazine has a launch party every month. And basically, they're inviting their advertisers and some of their friends.
Sure.
So, and we all happen to be friends. I know we've all been to some of those.
Why
They're
not?
generally private, though, so you need to know somebody to get in there, generally. So we
That's
just
why
call
we know
you.
Stacy.
No,
Just call Erin. She's very networked.
I think she'd get us in. But those are great. And again, it's a little more intimate. Everybody's in a great spirits. Gosh, with that one, you get a copy of the magazine before anybody else. So.
Yeah.
Why not?
And you get to look at their tapas pages and see whose pictures are in there.
Now, let's say you've gone, and I always ask you questions about the intricacies of meeting people and
Right.
so forth. And so you've met somebody, you've got their business card, it's somebody you wanted to contact. What do you do, Stacy, about follow-up? Do you email them? Do you place a phone call?
You know, I have lots of friends who say you should send them a handwritten note, a personal
Yeah.
note. I will do that on occasion, but what I'd really like to do is be a little more immediate. So I'll write something on their card afterwards and just say, well, what did we talk about? What could I send them that would be
Yeah.
of benefit to them? And that might be a link to an article, a contact, a sales prospect name, and then I will follow up with fairly quickly an email saying, hey, great meeting you.
Yeah.
And something we talked about was blank. And then
Yeah,
here's something to
specific
help
to-
you. And from my perspective, I don't know, you may have a different opinion, but I think the card is nice, but I think sending them something that very specifically helps them move forward.
Hey,
in their
saw
business.
this
Yeah.
article and thought of you.
Right.
Kind of thing.
I'd rather get that because then
Yeah.
it's like, oh, okay.
People love that. They're like, oh, well, this person is genuinely trying to help me.
Right.
Right.
You know, I'm
I
gonna
like that.
keep this
Right.
person in my
Good
card.
tip.
So.
But follow up quick, within
Yeah.
24 hours, so it's all very fresh.
Good idea.
And then sometimes that's the best way to say, and I would love to talk to you about what your issues are. Maybe we can come in and talk to you about how we solve a similar problem.
Yeah.
So you make
Great
it
idea.
turn it into a sales call.
You always bring a smile to my face when you're on the show, Stacy.
I'll see you at the 7 to 11.
Yeah, we'll be there.
We'll be there
All
21st
right,
of
let's have a Slurpee. Back with more in just a moment.
Guys.